What's going on, everybody? I want to say welcome to tonight's show. And finally, there's Cecil coming in at the last second to make this happen.
Yeah, I can't
Um,
take that music anymore. I'm kidding.
I don't blame you. I actually just put something in the comments. I was like, hey, I will find new music tomorrow. I feel like we've come to the end of the road with that tune. So welcome everybody. Tonight we are selecting a Knob Creek rye barrel tonight. So really excited to be able to do that. And before we kind of give into it, just let you all know how you can figure out more about our barrel selections, what we're doing, everything like that. You can go to bourbonpursuit.com. There will be a link at the top that talks about the Barrel Club. It'll take you to this page that talks about the Private Barrel Club in itself. And of course, there's some information about what we're doing here. There's pics to all the fun times we used to have when we were doing it in person, but we're making the best of it.
Screenshots of us on StreamYard.
Yeah, I guess
I was gonna fake a background with like three people on either side of me just so it would seem like it would fit in, but
Oh yeah.
ran out of time.
do like an MLB thing. We'll just have cutouts all behind us.
Exactly.
Passing the glass around, be like, oh, you need any? You need any? Yeah, so you can go ahead and check that out. There's a whole spreadsheet of all the picks that we're doing, as well as the tiers for Patreon and everything like that, plus some of the most frequently asked questions that are in there. And when we get done with tonight, I believe that's going to count for, oh gosh, we're up to
1,000.
1,000. It might be 1,000, but I believe this is barrel number 34 that we've selected this year. So a lot of
like
good
we're
stuff.
doing 2 a week, but I'm not complaining. It's awesome.
We actually, that's true, because we did 2 last week and we're doing 2 this week. And we got it's a lot of stuff to do. Can't complain though.
No, it's great.
Yeah. And we can do it at 9 p.m. A lot of people be able to tune in. So it's always fun to be able to do that. All right. Well, let's go ahead and let's start kicking this off. So everybody knows myself. I'm Kenny, and that's Ryan, host of Bourbon Pursuit, as well as some of the creators behind Pursuit Spirits. So if you want to know more about our private brand, you go ahead and check that out, pursuitspirits.com. And tonight we are joined by a Patreon member, somebody that we've actually known for kind of a while inside of the community. He's been a longtime supporter, so finally glad that we get to have an opportunity to have him join a barrel selection with us. It was by fate he was here tonight because he was actually selected to go with us to Wild Turkey on a Russell's Reserve pick back in, gosh, was it March? Is that when it was supposed to be? It was something like that.
It's been a while. It was because it was like right when they started shutting everything down.
I mean, I think it was like the week of everything started getting shut down, and we were supposed to go there like the next week. And I was emailing Campari and I was like, is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? And then no, it just all got shut down. So want to be able to make it up to Dave here and say like, well, let me know if you want to join the next barrel pick with us. So very glad to be able to have Dave on. So Dave, let's go ahead and let's get you introduced here. So I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself. And let's see, let me think of a good question for the random tonight. I guess, what was your, tell people where you're from, everything like that. And then what was your favorite cartoon growing up?
Oh, all right. So Dave, I live in Northern Virginia, just outside of DC. So I get to experience the joys of living in a liquor control state. So, the pickings are usually pretty slim, but at least when you find something, you get it for MSRP always. Virginia doesn't do what Pennsylvania does, so we haven't started seeing any, market price uplift yet. And the silver lining is I get to drive across the river to DC, and if you're willing to spend there, you can pretty much find anything you want. And Jack Rose is finally opened back up, so you can stop by and taste the things that you just want to taste, but don't necessarily want a whole bottle for. So been drinking bourbon since college. Went to UVA, so it's sort of a rite of passage. You learn to appreciate brown liquor when you're going to a Southern school. And Wild Turkey 101 was the first liquor I ever drank, not mixed with something. So with a couple of guys from my fraternity. So kind of serendipitous that we at least were starting down the Wild Turkey path before we got redirected. Favorite cartoon probably would have been Justice League back in the day.
Ooh,
so superheroes, old school. Don't ask me how long ago that was, because you probably watched a reboot of Justice League compared to what I saw. So
possibly, yeah. I was like, I think everything's a reboot nowadays.
Yeah,
Pretty
they
much.
run out of ideas. It's like, how many different superheroes can you create?
What was that night? I was, I think it was Saturday night. Me and my wife, we were just sitting downstairs. And we're like, let's watch a movie. Has anything like funny come out recently? And really, there wasn't anything. So I just started scrolling through all our movies, and I was like, yeah, 21 Jump Street. That, the new one. I was like, that's a good one. And they literally had that line in there. It said like, basically saying like, let's just go ahead and we have no new ideas, so we're just going to recreate all good stuff that's ever been done before.
Makes sense. If it's sold once, it can sell twice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what are we? We were about to get like the 9th reboot of Batman or something like that. So,
yeah,
as long as it sells tickets.
Yeah, but Batman's a little bit different. Batman's it's just like an iconic character. It's not like, I mean, they rebooted like Bad News Bears, right? And honestly, I thought it was pretty good, but it's just one of those things that you
Billy Bob.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, if anybody can take on the Walter Matthau character, I think Billy Bob Thornton's probably a pretty good choice. So,
totally.
Yeah, he probably did better. I love Billy Bob.
You like him better in that, or you like him better in like
Bad Santa?
Yeah,
Bad Santa's just great. You can't. I mean, it's so wrong, but it's like, what is it with you and the sandwiches? God, no, I love that movie.
But give yourself like 3 or 4 Christmases trying to put something together at 4 o'clock in the morning, and Bad Santa just gets better and better because you start dropping some Christmas curse words, and you start getting a little bit of Christmas bitterness after the Christmas cheer from Christmas Eve is worn off, but you don't get to go to bed yet, so you can relate.
No,
he was on the Granddad before anybody else was.
It's true. That's true.
Fair point. Yeah.
What about you, Ryan? Did you have a favorite cartoon growing up?
Well, as per usual, I have like 5. No, probably I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was probably my favorite. Like as a kid, and then growing up, I loved Doug. Doug was like, I love Doug. I could binge watch him all day.
Doug,
those
funny.
2 yeah.
Yep.
Got Skeeter, Patty Mayonnaise, the Beats.
Oh God, you remember everything. Drumming on a trash can.
That's right.
Banging on a street light. I remember all that. I'll tell you what, my probably one of the ones that I liked, and I think it either got a reboot or went to Netflix recently, was Voltron. I don't know if anyone was a big Voltron fan. It was kind of like
nope, only tech guys.
Oh man, I mean, it's just like you had like the lions, and then they were they made this like super dude that like fought aliens and stuff. I don't know, whatever. I'm sure there's somebody in the comments that was like, I know Voltron, but let's talk about what we're here to actually talk about tonight. So we are doing a selection of Knob Creek single barrel rye, and we've got 3 different selections or 3 different samples with us, and we'll kind of talk about them as we start going through here. So Dave, Ryan, I don't know about you, but I got 3 glasses next to me, so you should have A, B, and C on your samples. Yep. So we'll just go ahead and pour them in that order. And
what am I supposed to do with this box that you gave me?
I would have shipped that to Dave, but it just wouldn't have came in time, and it's just a massive box that these samples came in. I was just
I'm confused because it comes with like, it's got a nice mixing beaker, and then some distilled water.
Now the instructions in the book make more sense about, pour it into your beaker to this line, and they're talking about proofing it down with water and all this other stuff. And I was like, what do they think I have sitting around to do this with?
See, there you go. It's like it came in the box, but I was just like, who needs all this? There's a lot of stuff going on in that box. It's a heavy ass box too. I mean, isn't it, Ryan?
It's diesel. I mean, you could take somebody out with this thing. I mean, it's like, I guess I need the instructions for it. Can you send those back to me, Dave?
Exactly. I'll just turn the pages. You can read along.
I figured I could at least send the booklets to you. That's the easy one. But I was like, a test tube or a whatever and some water. And who needs that?
Because I can't remember. What are these proofed at? Like 114 or 1? What are
I believe 120 is gonna be the final proof.
120. Yeah.
120 is gonna be the final proof, and
so they're pretty close to.
Yeah, they're actually pretty close. These are actually barrel strength of what we're gonna be tasting, but they're really not too far away from the final proof. And unfortunately, they only send you these 100 mLs, and so you can only get so much out of 100 ml for 3 people. So.
Yeah, I got a slightly more generous pour on sample A than B and C. So, I was like, all right, there's a little extra there.
Yeah, I was about to say,
the chaser.
That's everything for B on my end. So I guess
Exactly.
choose sparingly as we come through here. So we'll go ahead and we'll.
They didn't do colors this time.
Yeah, it was just ABC. There's no red, green, blue.
green.
I know, made it pretty easy on us. Dave, is this how many barrel selections you've been on, or is this your first?
This is my first.
Right on.
I almost jumped in on that last minute Magnus pick that you had a couple years ago, but I missed your email by about 3 hours. So this is my first.
All right. Well,
there's always more.
Sure we'll
once the world opens back up, I mean, there's chances to get down to Fredericksburg to Bowman, or maybe up to Maryland for Sagamore or something like that. There's more stuff locally to try to get in on than there used to be.
Yeah, I'll probably reach out to Magnus again and see if we can do something there. It's probably one of the last few places that have high-aged MGP still available. So we'll see if we can make that happen.
All right. So I'm assuming it's the KCR, right?
Yeah, because we were doing Knob Creek Rye. So I had to do that because I was pouring Knob Creek Bourbon and Knob Creek Rye samples. So I had to keep them, staggered next to each other. So I knew exactly what was happening here.
I really liked the last Knob Creek Rye we had. I think I'm done with them. I drank them both because they're really good neat and they make really good cocktails too.
I do. I tend to use it a lot for Manhattans and stuff like that. 120 proof rye, it's perfect.
Yeah, during COVID, for 2 or 3 weeks, I was just on the blackout train with Knob Creek Manhattans.
The blackout train.
The whiskey consumption is definitely higher.
Yeah. Well, I was on jury duty last week, and I don't think a night went by where I wasn't drinking. So I was just like, well, I mean, what am I gonna do? Just wake up and go to court tomorrow anyway? You can't do anything to me.
Makes you feel good about the jury, right? Show up hungover.
Depends on what kind of mood Kenny's in. He can be the swing vote. I had to take my daughter to college last month up in Syracuse, and Virginia is on the quarantine list for New York State. So I actually had to quarantine for 2 weeks outside of Virginia before we could take her up. So I was up in New Jersey, and you're allowed to go shopping for groceries, but then you got to go back to your quarantine. Fortunately, in Jersey, grocery stores sell alcohol, which is a wonderful concept for a guy from Virginia to experience. So a couple bottles and bring them back, and it makes the quarantine pass a little easier.
I'd say so. Well, Dave, we usually tell these to everybody, but there's really no right or wrong way to do this. Typically what I'll do is I'll go through and nose them all first, and then I'll go through and taste and nose again. But that's typically how I like to do it. But you can do it however you want.
There's no wrong way until Kenny says there's a wrong way.
Well, there's no wrong way.
Supposed to pour them all into one glass, though, right? That would be a wrong way.
That's what the beaker's for.
Exactly. Do a little blending exercise.
Yeah, just be conscious of the amount we have here, because that's all we have to do for this, getting this selection out from underneath of us. So, all right. And let's see. You want to give you some of the details of each as we start going through here, or do you want to save those to the end?
Give me a little pomp and circumstance as we go.
All right. So
it's old hat for you guys, but
yeah. So let's go ahead. And so these were all. Well, never mind. Not all of them. 2 of them were. But this one is barreled on December 16th of 2014. So we're creeping up on 6 years old. I don't know if actually, what did they say? Yeah, I think we'll be able to get these before the end of the year. So this one will not be 6. So I guess it'll be 5.5, 5 3/4.
You said December 2016 or
December 16th of 2014. Wait,
2014. Okay.
Yeah, 14.
I heard it wrong, and I was like,
you said 2016. It was going to be
Oh yeah, I was about to say I'm not good at math anyway, so that's where it's going to throw me up. So anyway, this one was from Floor 4, Rack 51, Tier 3. And if that means anything to anybody, guess what? They actually have what their warehouse looks like, and kind of it's circled right cool. there. So that's exactly where it's pulled from on this one. So that's A. And this is also 123.8 proof is what we're drinking right now.
It doesn't smell that high proof.
Really?
I don't know.
It's hit my nostrils a little bit, but
A hit me a little softer than B and C, but
yeah,
definitely
maybe
getting
that's what I'm comparing to.
plenty of fumes off of all of them. But
Paul Clark's giving me shit because I've been pretty bad about this on like Instagram and stuff. I'm like 30 days of bourbon and I've done like 2 ryes, and the people are like, you can't do a rye on 30 days of bourbon.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, you did do the what Sazerac or Handy?
yeah, I did a Thomas H. Handy, and I think I did the Rabbit Hole new rye as well. But I was like, yeah, fuck it. It's
well, if you're going to do rye during Bourbon Heritage Month, you might as well do BTAC. You know.
I just figured I was just like, it's I'm drinking. It's close enough. It's not like it was vodka or anything.
No.
I'll have to admit, I drank vodka yesterday on Sunday. I was just like,
You're not going to hurt my feelings.
I don't know. It was like noon. We were watching football, and I was like, gotta have vodka soda and lime. I can't do bourbon right now or beer.
That's okay. We'll let it pass.
It tasted like LaCroix.
People have got a huge kick on those things recently. Man, is it just me, or do all the noses are pretty damn the same?
Yeah. C maybe has a little more something, but it's very slight. I don't know. Cosmo. I've never had a Cosmo. What is a Cosmo?
What is a cosmopolitan? I mean, oh God.
Is it like a trick? Do we, are we banned if we say we know? It doesn't really seem like a drink I should know how to make.
No judge zone here. It's all the same result.
Here, I can share my screen. Let's go check out, see what Wikipedia says, because that's what's going to tell you. So it started off in the 1930s. Vodka triple sec cranberry juice. Pretty simple. But I mean, it's usually, at least not to be sexist or anything, but usually what a lot of women were ordering at bars, if I'm not mistaken. It was pretty big in like
it's a Sex in the City drink.
That's what I say. I thought it was a Sex in the City kind of thing. So, but
Carrie Bradshaw, is that her name or something?
It is.
Dropping that in there like you don't know. I was going to say.
He knows
I
his
had to watch
characters.
the movie with my wife one time when we were first dating. I was like, this is terrible.
All right, now the alcohol vapors have kind of like hit my nose so much that I can start smelling stuff in it. Like, like when you do it, and then like the alcohol vapors like just start like you start killing some sort of senses in there, and then all of a sudden you can start bringing in a lot more. Yeah.
No, it's nose hallucinations start. That's what it is.
It gets rid of all the hairs in there, and then you can smell.
Yeah, pretty much. All right.
I'm going to taste because
tired of waiting. Yeah, I mean, nobody's gonna get this and be like, I'm just gonna smell it for forever. I will say, I think C probably had the best nose.
Yes. I like A.
It's a punch of rye right there, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like I'm chewing on black peppercorns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it starts off a little grapey, syrupy, but then it opens up into like a big pepper bomb.
Finish is still going for me too.
Mm-hmm. Good start.
Mm-hmm. That's what I mean. It's always funny with these Knob Creek things. It's like they're always solid. It's very rare. Very rare. You're gonna be like, I don't want any of these, but they're always solid. But it's usually pretty close on like the profile for them too. So just anybody else that's joining us right now, that was A, barreled December 16th, 2014. And by the time we get this, probably like 5. And I mean, if if you're a 5-year-old, you count your days, how old you are. So I'd say 5 years and 3/4 is about how old it'll be probably by the time it gets to us. From floor 4, rack 51, tier 3. And these will all be bottled at 120 proof. So that was A. Y'all ready for B?
All right. So Dave, what's the calculation I need to do in my beaker?
Yeah, exactly. Hang on. No, seriously, there's so you said this is what, 123.8?
That is
So
correct.
they actually do say, all right, if your sample proof is between 127 and 31 and you want to proof it down, you need 3 milliliters of water, right? So, just
3
to be precise.
milliliters. Gotcha.
But that's to proof it to 115, which they claim is the ideal proof for rye. So
I wonder, is the Knob Creek rye at 120 or is it 115?
I'm trying to look, see if I have one over there.
Yeah, now I might as well just tell everybody. I'm sure somebody's going to chime in and be like, what is it? Knob Creek rye. Gonna pull up some images here, see what we can find.
The bad thing is my sample's not big enough, I don't think, to make it to the fill line.
Yeah.
We have to adjust your water percentage because you don't have enough whiskey.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's Total Wines. What's this say? Can y'all see that?
So it says 115 in the chat. They're saying 115, 120 for the bourbon.
Yep, it is. It is 115.
Yeah, that's what the book says. Yeah,
it is.
So you can get their cast strength rye though. You can actually get higher than 115. But
yep, but unfortunately, they're not gonna.
Just a little bit though. I mean, it doesn't get much.
Yeah, they're not hooking us up with that. So you're right. It is 115 proof with this bottled at. So I don't think that's going to sway my
It doesn't seem like it should change all that much, but
yeah. I mean, this one could hold up to some water.
Yeah. So again, we're chasing these. These are all 123 proof. So, and going at 115. So, and if they said 3 milliliters of water, I'm assuming for the sample, that's going to be like this whole bottle. So it's probably just like a super, super tiny bit is all you have to really add into your glass to really.
It'd be like a drop. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's not going to be much.
Well, I'm not going to waste the water on these.
Me neither.
I like them as is.
It'll be fine. I mean, hell, when you're doing these in the warehouse, you rarely sit there and add water to it. Well, I take that back. You usually do because you can go and try it multiple ways and do it. I was going to say,
if you get a bigger sample, then you can play with it a couple of different ways, right? But,
for sure.
I feel like when we went and did the Knob Creek picks, it was freezing in the warehouse, and like it was so hard to even like get anything because the whiskey was so cold.
Yes, it was. That was when it might have been like a February when we did that or something.
No,
like
it was
that.
November.
Yeah, close enough.
I don't know. I remember I had to rush back to go to like see Santa or something.
Oh, that's important.
So maybe it's December.
Maybe. Yeah, I do remember doing it, and I'll be honest. Like I don't like doing barrel selections when it's really cold outside because it's when the whiskey comes out of the barrel, it's cold. You can't really tell a difference between them and stuff like that. And by the time it gets to be bottled, plus then you're sitting there shivering and you're just drinking.
Yeah, you're like,
it's just not a great experience.
You're like warming it up.
During your cold times, you go do like a maker's private select or something like that, where they bring you inside the room and they've got everything sort of set up for you and you can enjoy it more.
Yep. It's very true.
Cecil clause.
You just gotta pencil in 10 hours of your day for makers.
Yep.
That's a long one.
See, you guys are really spoiled because you talk about that with a tone in your voice like, oh, that's such a chore, right? Most of us would be like, wow, I could spend a whole day.
I know.
You're like, oh, geez, it's the fourth one of these we've done in 2 weeks. Man, can we get this over with?
That's Ryan's flex right there.
I know. I need to shut up about that. About the tours and all that.
Well, try barrel number 2 or barrel B here, man.
I love it.
I was about to say, I think this is really good.
Yeah, it's got a great viscosity, syrupy. It just
that hits me with something different right away too.
yeah,
I mean, like no
it's got so
burn
much
at all.
more body on it too.
Almost had like a little bit of cotton candy taste to it.
I mean, this one tastes
Yeah,
like
this is
damn
good.
near like a bourbon. Like it's less of a ride for me.
It's definitely not as spicy. I don't. I got that huge pepper hit on the first one.
Yeah, this one's good.
So we'll give you some more details on this one. How about that? So
Show us
sample
the
B.
circle.
Sample B. This is coming from Warehouse. I should have mentioned that the first one was Warehouse J. This one is Warehouse. I'm gonna assume that's an I, or it's a 1. I don't know. You tell me here in a second. But this one was barreled on October 6th of 2014. So we do have a potential that this could be a 6-year by the time it actually goes to get bottled on this one. And then floor 4, rack 15, tier 3. If you would have guessed, it's probably somewhere in the middle. You'd be darn right. It's directly in the middle.
Wow, that's like the middle of the middle.
Middle of the warehouse.
Bullseye right there.
Yep.
And I can't tell. Is that warehouse like I, L?
It looks like a
Looks
1.
like a 1.
It looks like a 1. That's what I said too. Except if you look at their ones on the date, it's just like that. So
Oh, yeah, okay. Maybe it's an I and they just got lazy.
Yeah, maybe it's an I. I mean, it's really good handwriting. I'd hate to call them
What's
lazy.
the proof on this one?
This one is 123.4.
Yeah, so they're all like, fighting weight, 123.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm loving this one.
John just talked about I said cotton candy, then nobody said anything. So does anybody else get any other kind of good taste out of barrel B here too?
Is cotton candy a new marzipan? I don't think I've ever felt like I got cotton candy from a whiskey before, but I mean, I grew up with a dad who worked in a company that made vanilla extract for a living, though. So to me, everything tastes like vanilla because like he'd come home from work smelling like it, vanilla and black pepper.
There could be worse things to smell like.
Yeah, no, seriously.
I just get like syrup all day long, like
just, maple syrup or like
no, not maple, just like a brown sugar or just like sugar simple syrup. Like I don't know, it's just really syrupy. It's good.
I mean, I just wrote like candy down first because it did feel like sugary, kind of really sweet.
Yeah.
And then I tried to
hard candies.
Yeah, I just tried to figure out like what's rock candy. Yeah, I like that.
That's a good one to add to the tasting note adjective list.
Mm-hmm.
Cracker Barrel. You know, Cracker Barrel's going to start selling booze now.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, I read that today. I don't know why.
Please tell me in the restaurant rather than like a Cracker Barrel brand that you can get in the liquor store.
I'm sure it'll be both, but no, it's at the restaurant.
Instead of like tequila having the worm, Cracker Barrel just have a corn cob inside the bottle or something like that. So you can see through the liquor.
A biscuit down at the bottom.
I'm sure whiskey pairs pretty well with chicken and dumplings.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
it would only make sense.
That's my go-to there.
I like the country fried steak or the not steak, the country fried chicken. Chicken and dumplings is good too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, chicken and dumplings. That's hard to find in a lot of places. So it's like a good comfort food thing to
it's a day ender for sure.
Yeah, food coma, big time.
All right, good job, B.
Yep, a solid one.
You're doing some good things. Let's see what C's got to offer.
So number C. That's what we got going on here. So this is sister barrel to A, because this was, again, same fill date, December 16th, 2014. Floor 4, rack 49 versus A, which is rack 51, and tier 3. And still same warehouse J. So this is what we're looking at for C. So not too much difference in the placement versus A, so not too far off.
And what's the proof on this one?
123.4. So A was the highest proof at 123.8. So they're all 123. Or their equipment was broken that day, and they just said, we're just going to write 123.
Get some like citrus on this nose now. Some like orange zest or lemon zest or something.
Yeah,
I mean, this one. Sorry, go
like
ahead.
Lemon zest. I know. I was going to say, I'm definitely getting kind of the lemon peel, lemon zest smell.
Mm-hmm.
It's like lemon pepper you put on your fish or something. Maybe not.
Strangely enough, it's almost like a because of the alcohol and the proof. It's a little bit like a Mr. Clean or something like that, right? You get the smell, but you also get a little chemically smell with it too.
Right, the detergent kind of bleach
exactly.
smell.
Nothing like drinking some good rye that tastes like bleach on a weekend.
Yeah, it'll kill the coronavirus on the inside.
Hey,
we're not quite there on proof, so you got to add a little bleach.
I like the smell of a clean house, so I'm all about it.
That'll kill mold, kill coronavirus, your intestines.
This one's definitely a lot more brighter, like more vibrant. Like the last one was like kind of dark and syrupy. This is like bright, fruity, lively.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like A and C are pretty similar.
Yeah,
in profile.
I felt like A hit me on the front of the palate a little bit harder. Like, right now, granted that was the first of the three, and I had a little something earlier to warm up, but
yeah, I think
I
you're right.
got more alcohol hit from the first one.
Yeah, A.
The palate sort of eased in on C a little bit more than A. Yeah.
Yeah, A definitely the alcohol like just takes over and ruins anything good going on. Whereas C
opens up more. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little more brighter.
Well, now I got to go back to A.
You don't want to.
No, too bad. Already started. Already picked it up. It's in my hand. Can't put it down now.
Yeah, you got to finish it eventually anyway.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's I don't make the rules. It's just how it is. Like going back to A, the nose. I mean, it's a little bit of almost like a nail polish.
Like an acetone.
Yum.
Mm-hmm. I know. Really selling this one for everybody. But I mean, am I wrong? Like, is it?
No, I mean, it's just not. I don't want to say harsh because it's not really. I mean, they're all strong, but it hits you, and then like C, it hits you, and then almost immediately you start tasting like 3 or 4 other things all at once, and that doesn't really happen so much with A. It's hit, and then it goes to sort of the black pepper on the finish without much fun in the middle.
Right.
Well, breaking bourbon, at least from the Google right here, says that it's supposed to be like some of the flavor notes they get are, of course, rye grain, white pepper, citrus rinds, vanilla, pine effervescence, and oak.
Pine effervescence.
Those guys are smarter than we are at this, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
They just have a thesaurus.
They got it dialed in. Yeah. They have the luxury of sitting down and like writing an article for an hour.
Instead of doing it in front of a camera. Yeah.
Yeah. Not doing it in 15 seconds or whatever.
Mm-hmm. We had all those flavor adjectives except for the pine.
Yep, I agree. A's finished is really good though. It just keeps going. The taste is
but it's
okay.
It's just like a burn. It's not like a flavor finish. It's just alcohol.
I could see that.
I mean, I got like I said, I just got pepper on that one. So I mean, it was still tasting something, but again, growing up in a family that made this stuff, everything gets pepper on it, no matter how you make it or what's in there. So, I appreciate the peppery flavor.
A would be good to clean a wound, I think.
It goes in your snake bite kit.
Yeah.
Well, sounds like we're really high on A here, so maybe we just kind of pull that one to the side. All right, good reason to move back to B then.
Yep.
The noses, I mean, I guess coming from A, it's not as pronounced, not as like in your face, but that's probably because of how we just basically
described A.
We just shit on A pretty hard for a minute. So yeah, it's rock candy right there, man.
It is. Yeah, it's just sugary goodness.
Mm-hmm.
But there's not like a ton of spice or like boldness that you want out of a rye. I'm scared too if it got watered down, it might fall apart, but probably not because it's still 125 or whatever.
I was gonna say it's not gonna be too much water, but
yeah.
That's what I say. I've got like just a little tiny bit I can try, but I don't even think I can fit water in there.
No, you just need to like spray some water across the top of the bottle.
Right.
That's about all you can do for that.
I would imagine the saliva in my mouth would be basically just be enough water that I need to be able to add to it. I agree. It's what B, man, the flavor is so, I mean, it's so there, but you're right. The finish is just non-existent really. I mean, I would say it's non-existent, but
look, you want to make your perfect sample, right? You want to take a little bit of the one thing I like the most about A was its finish. You take a little bit of that, move it over to the back of B, and
Yeah, you got the perfect balance.
Mm-hmm.
That's why these small batches, they make sense.
They were onto something, weren't they?
Yep.
All right. We'll go C again here. See if we can narrow this down even further.
Definitely more finish on C.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just more classic rye.
Yeah.
You get that spice bomb. You get a very flavorful and like lingering finish.
Yeah, B could fool me for a high rye bourbon.
For sure.
That's tough. I bet if you put that next to like Old Granddad, I bet Old Granddad would taste more high rye than that.
Probably. Than B, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, this is tough now. It's like which one do you choose? Because it's like B is unique because I don't think there's one like it. They have this rock candy flavor to it, but the finish just isn't there. And I don't know if that's what people are going to expect from a rye barrel. However, on C, it's classic. I mean, it hits all the check boxes what you'd expect out of it, but there's nothing like that's like insanely like different about it. It's just a good rye.
It's a really good rye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, if you laid them out for me and told me pick which one you want to drink, I'd probably ask for 2 fingers of B, and sip on that. But that's if I didn't know what you were giving me, right? And if I was expecting a rye, you might be like, well, that's kind of a underwhelming rye, right? Because it doesn't have the spice and the heat that I would think. But it's interesting with A and C being sister barrels. I still have A in my third place. It's not like it's changing position. For me, it's a horse race between B and C.
I think B, I would definitely drink neat more. Like, I would enjoy it neat only. I'm not sure I'd want it like in cocktails or anything. Whereas C, I could do both. It's just C's like more of a punch you in your face rye. You know, B is just like a nice something you could sit there.
It doesn't
and
seem
sip
like it would
on.
stand up much to water or to a
Yeah.
mixer. It would just. I think you'd start to lose it a little bit.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'll take the experiment to the next level then. So I will add just a little bit of water to B. Just see if it does hold up.
I don't have enough to do that.
Yeah, that's all I have, and that's what I was just like. I'll just see if it holds up.
You've already got a little bit more left than I do. I've been circling through the samples.
Yeah,
I got plenty of A left to add water to, so maybe I'll play with that one.
You can play with that one for a second.
It can take a lot of water.
On the nose, it's a little bit more. Yeah. On the nose, it's a little bit more like licorice, like a black licorice, a little bit. All right, here we go. See if we still got rock candy. Actually, not near as much rock candy.
Any sweetness, or does that start to fade already?
Now I got to go back to C just to like it didn't have as much of the just in my head from what I can recall, it just doesn't have as much as that sweetness. I'm gonna go to C and then go back to it, and then I'm basically cashed at that point of samples. Mm-hmm. Still good. Still what I expected. So good there.
Yeah, C is just a nice big bold rye.
Mm-hmm.
With a ton of citrus. There's a little bit of that rock candy sweetness in there. But then it just opens up to this like beautiful spice.
Why can't they just let us do these at barrel proof and quit making us do all these damn experiments?
At least these are relatively close. You know, it's not like something where you taste it out of the barrel at, in the 1 teens or something like that, and then it goes into a bottle at 92 or something crazy different.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, like Elijah Craig or Buffalo Trace. I think I know what I want.
All right. I'm going to add a little bit of water to C, and then the experiment's over.
Yeah.
When I say a
I'm
little
bingo
bit.
on B and C, so.
When I say a little bit, it's like bloop, super tiny bit.
Oh, come on, Kenny, man, you gotta get your little dropper.
Oh, you're right. I should. That was probably in the kit that I left. Like, give it to Ryan.
Yeah, I got your pipette.
I did a tasting for some friends at their vacation place in the Chesapeake Bay a little while ago, and so I did it all up. I bought like a couple of dozen Glencairns and bought the little Boston bottles, and I don't know which part number I ordered. I'd have to go back and look, but the part number I ordered off of Amazon came with caps and droppers in the box, which was kind of nice. So
you get like 100 of them when you order them.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like, all right, well, I didn't need that many, but if I order the kit that has like 20, it's almost the same price, So.
Right.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I'd say with a little bit of water, C still holds up to its taste and flavor profile. Not too much different. Like I said, this was very unscientific on how I just put in just like a little baby amount of water. So I have no idea if I overdid it with the water, but it's always possible. I know. So like I said, it really comes down to classic or hoping we get rock candy when it actually goes to getting bottled.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty big risk with B though, even with just a little bit of water to proof it down to 115. That seems like it could be enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a tough one.
I feel like with B, if I wanted, we'll just go get a Knob Creek bourbon with B. I mean, it's really good, but I don't know. C's just a good, solid rye. But
I think, well, Dave, where do you think your allegiance lies in this one? Well, make sure you have a proper vote here. Okay.
I'm definitely on C with B as my second. And I've still got some A. So I put a little water in A, and the nose changed a little bit. I got more like brown sugar and caramel and vanilla and stuff like that. But it didn't really change much.
Okay, good.
On the
I didn't want to
definitely
didn't want to throw a ringer into it.
No. I'm definitely my order is still the same, so it's definitely CBA for me.
All right,
I still got plenty of A if we need to go back and visit.
Well, I think that does it. So C squad coming at you. So Knob Creek barrel selection. This was done on December 16th, 2014 is when it was barreled. What was it? Floor 4, rack 49, tier 3 of Warehouse J. And that's exactly right where it was. Right there. Whole time. So looking forward to be able to sharing this barrel with everybody here relatively soon. And make sure you tune back in, because tomorrow night we're going to be back here once more doing a Knob Creek bourbon selection. So we're going to be doing back-to-back nights of doing all this stuff. Very, very excited to be able to do that. Dave, stay on here just real quick after we hang on, or we end the stream, just so we can hang out and chat for a second. But go ahead, Ryan.
Sure.
Yeah, watch one of the Knob Creek bourbon samples be a rye, and B was actually.
Yeah, I was going to say you get your B mixed up. Kenny did the sample for him.
It's don't put it past me, but I do my best. That's for sure.
He was doing it while he's drinking all, for his jury duty.
Yeah. I mean, it made sense at the time, But just for anybody that's curious about, what we're doing, how often we're doing this and stuff like that, go and check it out, bourbonpursuit.com. There will be a link at the top that says Barrel Club, or you can go to bourbonpursuit.com/single barrel club, and you can go and check it out. There's all the information on how to get signed up, some of the tiers and rewards, and how even you could be like Dave on this screen and hanging out with us for an hour and selecting a barrel of whiskey. So fun time to be able to do that. And, of course, Dave, thank you so much for your support of the podcast and everything like that too.
Yeah, you guys have taught me so much just listening. Some of the people you guys have on, it's pretty fantastic. So it's just nice to be part.
Well, we're glad there's other enthusiasts out there like us that are always thirsty for more information. We're just glad we can do single barrels as a part of this. It's always a fun process.
Yeah. Makes it all worth it.
I think so, for sure. So again, Dave, stay here real quick, but I want to say again, thank you all for tuning in. I think we had almost up to 50 people concurrently at one point. So thank you all for joining. Make sure you come again, I guess, like I said, tomorrow night for Knob Creek Bourbon. With that, we will see you all in tomorrow.
23 hours.
23 hours. Cheers, everybody. Talk to you soon.
See ya.